Hello and good Friday evening. Typically, this is a Thursday thing, but I was busy with real world stuff last night, so we had to push it to Friday. And that was completely on me. And I realized it on Wednesday. We had this scheduled, and I'm like, last minute, I'm like, oh crap, I forgot. I'm busy on Thursday, so let's move it to Friday. But I have a first time guest to the channel. I'm looking forward to chatting with and getting to know a little better. Showed up in one of my streams recently. He's like, hey, I'd love to be on open mics. I'm like, let's make it happen. I was gone for most of May for traveling, so we weren't able to do it sooner. But I'm happy to have Christian Frates on. Hello, Christian. Thanks for joining me tonight.
You're welcome. My last name is actually pronounced Frates.
Frates. Well, thank you for correcting me on that. I like pronouncing things correctly. I'm sure you get Frates a lot. So you're probably used to correcting people. So thank you, Frates. How are you doing today?
Doing great. I had a fun time.
Oh, cool. Well, welcome. And let's see. Yeah, no one's in the chat yet, but I'm sure we'll have some friends show up. So, yeah, first thing you said when you hopped in, and you're like, I see Slave One in the background. Yeah. So, I don't know if you caught any of, let's see here. It was on Tuesday night. We did ranking our top 5 video game character, or sorry, not video game characters, top 5 Star Wars characters. That wasn't on my channel though, although it is in my playlist. So I'm a big Star Wars guy. Have been since I was like 4 or 5. And in college, me and all my buddies, we were big fans of How I Met Your Mother. Did you ever watch that show?
No, but I've heard of it.
Okay, so Barney Stinson, who's played by
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes, thank you. He was like, he had bro this and bro that and called everything bros. And so we all were dubbed bro names because I was the big Star Wars guy. I was dubbed Broba Fett. And so I used that as my online handle for basically 10 years or a little bit longer, actually, until I started my channel. And I didn't go with that name on my channel because my gamer tag is Neo21 here. And that's been that since 2006. So since I was going to make my channel video game based, I stuck with my Neo name and came up with Nerdy Neo. But my online presence, you ever see anything back in the day from Boba Fett? That was me. So not my favorite Star Wars character. If you want to find out who my favorite Star Wars characters are, you have to go watch that top 5 Star Wars characters live stream. But he was in my top 5, and I do like Boba Fett. He's really cool. See, I got the Slave One there.
Actually, Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, so the Millennium Falcon. Oh yeah, Little Slave One and the Millennium Falcon. Those are from the Star Wars. I forget what it's called, but there's basically a tabletop game, kind of like Warhammer, where you have like space battles. You can build your fleets almost like Warhammer armies. I forget what it's called, but those are the only 2 that I have. But yeah, I played it a couple times. It was fun, but I haven't played it in forever, and those are the only 2 I have, so it doesn't really make for that much of a battle. But they make great for background ornaments, decorations, and such.
They sure do.
So, are you a big Star Wars guy?
Lucas only.
Yes. Star Wars died for me. What was it? March of 2012, when Disney is like, yeah, the EU doesn't exist anymore. I've got a couple Star Wars books right there. Darth Bane trilogy is fantastic. I've read a ton more. They're not out here, but I've played a lot of Star Wars games. So, watched the movies, as a kid growing up. So, yeah, I'm all about the pre-Disney era, before the dark times.
Yeah, and I help remind people that the Thrawn trilogy exists.
Yeah, I have it. I know the gist of it. I've never actually read it myself. It's something I really need to do. I just don't make much time for reading these days, but I definitely need to do that at some point because I've heard that the Thrawn trilogy is fantastic. So if you had to pick a couple of your favorite Star Wars characters, who would you say those would be?
I would say Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's my number 1.
Nice. He was on somebody's list on Tuesday. So yeah, good. Do you prefer Clone Wars prequels Obi-Wan, or more so original trilogy Obi-Wan?
Or I like both.
Okay, yeah. Hard to pick. So, well, cool. So you much of a gamer then?
Yeah, I play regularly on my Xbox Series X.
Yes, Xbox guy. I love it. So, what's Oh, well, you know what? Before we do that, we have Ian in the chat here. What's up, Ian? Is this a friend of yours, Christian?
Ian White.
Ian. So, well, hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. You know, we're all open mic is all about talking mainly about video games, but we can sometimes go off on tangents on non-video game related stuff. But welcome, glad to see you here. So, what have you been playing lately? Anything fun?
Well, I've been replaying Arkham Knight.
Ooh, I haven't played Arkham Knight in forever. And I played Arkham Asylum a couple years ago, and I played Arkham City again earlier this year. I really need to get back and play Arkham Knight again because that's a good one. I haven't played it in a really long time.
Yeah, I even have the hard copy of Arkham Origins.
Okay. Yeah, I've got that one too. That's another one I need to go back to because I don't know if you are, but as an Xbox guy, I'm an achievement hunter and a completionist. I will never be able to complete it because the multiplayer mode in Arkham Origins, I've never even played before, is offline, so I can't get those multiplayer achievements anymore. But there's some achievements in the campaign that I need to go back and go through and get again because when I was like, it was some of the combat and predator challenges. When I was working through them, somehow, literally in the middle of playing it, all of my save data on Arkham Origins just wiped while I was playing it. So I had to play through it again in order to unlock all the challenges again. I just haven't gone back and done it yet. But
That's surprising.
Arkham Origins is very underrated. I think most people consider like the black sheep of the Arkham series, but I still think it's a great game.
I like playing it during Christmas time.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. For anyone who doesn't know, Arkham Origins takes place during Christmas. So it's great to play during Christmas time, which I actually think that I talked about on a party chat once. We're talking about like games you play at certain times of year, and somebody mentioned Origins and Christmas time. So, and Vanquish is here. What's up, Vanquish? How's Ghost of Tsushima? I was always saying Tsushima before, but now that I've played it, I know it's Tsushima.
I also uploaded gameplay clips of PS5 games on my YouTube channel.
Oh, cool. I didn't realize you had a channel because I couldn't find it. If you want, I'll definitely link it.
Yeah, it's under my real name, Christian Frates.
Okay. I will get that and I'll link it in the description. So if anyone wants to check you out and go check out your channel. But cool.
I also do like voice impressions and showcase like lesser known things that not a lot of people know about.
Okay. Cool. So what you have any like go-to impressions that you're pretty good at?
Like Homestar Waddle, for instance.
That sounds familiar.
Well, he's from a webtoon back in the early 2000s.
Was that from Strong Bad?
Well, Strong Bad, he isn't the namesake character. It was the domain name was homestarrunner.com.
Oh, yes, it was Homestar Runner. That's why I was like, it sounds so familiar.
They even had a PS3 game called Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive People.
I never played it, but I do remember seeing that game exist.
And they just released a Steam game called Dangeresque Farumaso Triangulate.
Homestar Runner released a recent game?
Yeah.
What? That's crazy. I thought that I hadn't heard the name Homestar Runner in decades.
They've been uploading new webtoons on the YouTube channel since 10 years ago.
Wow, I did not know that. Maybe I'll have to go check that out and relive some of the nostalgia.
Yeah, and for one of the latest cartoons is that you see Homestar Runner for the very first time front facing.
Oh, was he always facing away?
Facing on the side, yeah.
Okay.
But when he looks front facing, he looks like he's a boat. In fact, I have a Homestar Runner puppet plush with me that I got recently.
So while you're getting that, nice. Oh, there's Strong Bad.
Yeah, this is Homestar Waddle.
That is pretty good. That's pretty spot on.
When you touch him Strong Bad, he can talk.
If you rub me on your face, I'll give you a rash. On your Strong Bad plush, I will not actually give you a rash.
The one thing that I do pretty often quote is whenever somebody mentions the emails, I'm like checking the emails.
Strongbet even says that on this plushie, which came out in 2020.
Nice.
And there are even Homestar Runner DVDs.
I did not know that. That does not surprise me though, because that definitely would have been. It was big during the DVD era before everything
Yeah, they
was
did
all
recent
digital.
reprints.
Okay, so recent. I didn't realize that they were. I guess still alive. Basically, I thought it was something
And
that
they
died
even
long
have
ago.
stores, there's even a tabletop game based on Trogdor.
Trogdor! I love that the Trogdor song was in Guitar Hero 3, I think it was.
2, actually.
Was it 2? It was 2, you're right.
And Limousines, because it's midnight, was in Guitar Hero Rocks the 80s.
I never played that one.
And as for the Trogdor board game, it's a tabletop cooperative game where you and up to 5 of your friends can help Trogdor burnate the countryside. Enemies include the knights and the archers.
That's great. I haven't played a board game in forever, but I love co-op based games. One of my favorite board games was Pandemic. I love that game.
Yeah, and I'm glad I educated you about the Trogdor board game.
If I still played board games, I would definitely look into getting that because that does sound like fun. So, but yeah, to finish off for Vanquish, it's going good. I've got about 6-ish hours in, so I'm still getting my butt handed to me. I'm not doing great at it, but I am enjoying it, and I might stream some of it tonight. We shall see.
I completed Act 1 of that game.
Okay, yeah, I'm still currently in Act 1. I'm kind of just taking my time, but I'm liking it.
Believe it or not, in Ghost of Tsushima, I believe, is that you can unlock Sly Cooper gear.
I've never had a PlayStation, so I don't know a whole lot about PlayStation franchise, because Sly Cooper was mainly a PlayStation franchise, right?
That, Infamous, and Ghost of Tsushima are the same developers.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. What the heck are their name? I just blanked off the top of my head.
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch. Yes, thank you. I've never played Sly Cooper, so I did not know that. But that makes sense if they're all from the same developer.
Good news about Sly Cooper. The first Sly Cooper game will have a proper emulation for PS4 and PS5, and you can buy it by June 11th.
I've heard good things about Sly Cooper. I just never played it, but cool. Good to hear that that's coming back. I know a lot of people are big fans of that franchise.
Yeah, and I even other games I've been replaying include like Star Wars Battlefront 2, the real one.
The original, okay. I wish I had played more of that back in the day. I've ended up playing more of the EA Battlefront 2, but I know that how widely regarded the original Battlefront 2 is, as held by a lot of people as one of the best Star Wars games. I just wish I had played more of it back when it was in its heyday.
And I even showed gameplay videos of Stellar Blade, Crash Team Nitro Fueled, Dragon Ball Fighters, Crash Insane Trilogy, Sleeping Dogs, Spyro Reignited Trilogy.
I did play that one.
Yeah, and also other gameplay clips. I'm just looking through my channel here. I added gameplay clips from Xbox and PS5 to diversify my channel rather than like voice impressions or showing lesser known things in trivia.
Okay, cool. Yeah, diversify is typically a very good thing. Not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, and I have some good news. I was able to preserve video game documentaries onto IMDb.
Like which one?
The Halo 2 documentary meant for the collector's edition.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so I was able to tag every name as possible shown from the documentary.
Nice. Doing some good work for the community there.
Yeah, as well as I'm a huge physical media buff.
Awesome. Yeah,
so
I'm not very good about that. But
I regularly check out bonus features, and I preserve the trivia of the bonus features onto IMDb trivia pages and wikis.
Oh, nice.
For instance, in Tim Story's Fantastic Four, the reason why Dr. Doom was portrayed as a businessman is that the success of the Austin Powers trilogy made the concept of an evil dictator hard to take seriously at the time.
And what was that for?
Tim Story's Fantastic Four, the first one.
Okay.
And another fact I learned from that documentary is that Doctor Doom's helmet is made of epoxy instead of fiberglass because it's more durable.
Yeah, I definitely would never have known those things.
And Julie McMahon, who played Doctor Doom, he actually grew up reading the actual Fantastic Four comics.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to all these people nowadays, it's like, no, we don't want you to know anything about the source material so we can make it whatever we want.
And Tim Story, who directed those two, he admitted in interviews that he's a huge fan of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Fantastic Four, but having people who are fans of the source material, always a good thing.
Don't forget Michael Chiklis is the Thing, though.
Yeah, that one I did know. Let's hear. Chiklis is the Thing. Jessica Alba's Invisible Woman. I don't know the actor's name that played Reed Richards.
Ewan Griffith.
I'm not. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything else.
Well, he was in Titanic.
He was?
Yeah.
Huh. Although I haven't seen Titanic since basically it came out, so I definitely wouldn't have known him back then.
Yeah, and there was even a video game based on that movie.
Oh, I thought you were saying that there was a video game based on Titanic, based on Fantastic Four. Yes, I did play that one. It was not great.
But at least it had like bonus features like interviews of the cast.
Oh yeah, tie-in video games used to do that. Tie-in video games, my buddy Melee James has mentioned it a few times. It's one of those things that's kind of like disappeared. They typically aren't great, but sometimes they are. But it would almost be fun to kind of see some of those return.
Yeah, RoboCop Rogue City, I've played some of it so far, and it's so good.
I've not played it yet. It definitely is in because I'm very frugal, so I wait till games go on sale for like 50% off before I buy them. But I'm definitely going to be playing that at some point.
Peter Weller's voicing RoboCop like in the movies.
Yes, they got Peter Weller and I think his partner is voiced by the woman who played her in the movie as well.
No, she retired.
No. Oh, okay. But yeah, getting Frank Weller, that's a huge win for.
No, Peter.
Sorry, Peter Weller. I'm getting Frank. Frank. What's the guy's name that I've got on it? Welker. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
In a lesser-known Cartoon Network series I over-promote called Evil Con Carne.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
I have not.
It's from the creator of Billy and Mandy.
I have not heard of that either.
Well, Billy and Mandy is a Cartoon Network series from the early 2000s about two kids befriending the Grim Reaper after they win a game of limbo against him.
It sounds like Bill and Ted.
Yeah, but Billy, he's stupid, yet funny. I like pie. And Mandy, she's a cynical girl, is like, Billy, quit playing with yourself. You're such an idiot. And Grim, he's like, I have to deal with these kids myself. There was even a Billy and Mandy fighting game for the PS2, GameCube, and Wii.
Man. Yeah, since I did not even heard of that franchise before, I definitely have not heard of that game.
And that game not only had the original voice cast returning, but Weird Al Yankovic is the announcer.
Oh, I love Weird Al.
Yeah, and about Evil Con Carne, both that and Billy and Mandy are the same show, and Evil Con Carne is about the brain of a Mexican billionaire who's attached to a purple bear who wants to dominate the world, kind of like Cobra Commander. and Hector, he has an attractive mad scientist named Major Dr. Ghastly. Also, she's a redhead.
And
there's the rebellious General Scar. The creator, Adam Burton, he split Grim and Evil into two shows, Billy and Mandy and Evil Con Carne, and cut Evil Con Carne short because it's the less popular of the two.
Oh, okay.
You can watch all Evil Con Carne episodes by digital purchases on various services. And for Billy and Mandy, you can watch the whole show on HBO Max. Good thing David Zaslav didn't cut Billy and Mandy off from HBO Max yet.
Yeah, I've been hearing that guy's name a lot lately. It's kind of a bummer that he didn't wasn't successful in his bid for the Disney board.
And there
It
was
sounds
even
like
a
he'd be doing
Matrix
some good
reference
stuff.
in a Billy and Mandy episode called The Secret Snake Club, where one of the Secret Snake Club members says, "You have the blue cupcake, and you won't join our club. You have the red cupcake, and you join our club."
All right, yeah, I'm all about the Matrix. It's my favorite movie of all time.
I
And
own the collector's DVD set from 2004.
is it this one?
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. It's got 10 discs. Each movie's got 2 discs, one for the movie and then one for like behind the scenes. It's got the Animatrix, and then it's got 7 out of the 10. The other 3 are all like additional behind the scenes stuff. It's kind of like basically the same thing for my Lord of the Rings set here. Although I think it's 2 discs for each movie plus a behind the scenes disc.
Well,
and then there's
the extended ones.
yes, the extended ones.
I own
The correct way to watch them.
I own the Blu-rays of the extended Lord of the Rings.
I've been looking because I don't own very many Blu-rays. I've been looking into actually getting those Blu-rays so I can watch them in 4K.
Yeah, and here's a rather interesting fact. There's a hidden Easter egg for the Return of the King extended DVD where Elijah Wood, he gets a hilarious prank interview via satellite by Dominic Monaghan posing as a German interview. And one part I like is where he asked him, "Do you wear wigs?" "No, I do not." "Have you worn wigs?" "No, I have not." "Will you wear wigs?" "Maybe." "When will you wear wigs?" And the best part is at the end where Dominic Monaghan gives away his identity and Elijah was like, "Brilliant. I knew it. I knew it. That was brilliant."
So, while we're on topic of Lord of the Rings, which one is your favorite?
Return of the King.
Yes. My opinion, each movie, they're all fantastic, but each one gets better than the previous one. So I like Two Towers better than Fellowship and Return of the King better than Two Towers. But it's the perfect trilogy.
Yeah, it really is.
I definitely say it's the best trilogy, most consistent. Because I literally, there's very few things I can say bad about it. Like basically all other trilogies usually have like one that most people consider to be like the bad one. Lord of the Rings doesn't have that. They're all fantastic. So that's why it's not my favorite, but it is the best trilogy there is.
Yeah, and have you ever heard of the DC character Lobo?
I don't know much about him, but yes, I do know the name.
Well, there's a TVMA web cartoon based on him.
Okay.
It came out in 2000, so I preserved it on my YouTube channel and onto IMDb, and he is Stan Lee's favorite DC character.
Interesting.
So I was able to preserve the web cartoon 5 years before Stan Lee passed away, so that way he'd be like, "Oh my goodness, a web cartoon based on my favorite DC character. I'm gonna have the time of my life."
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm really good with voices.
So I found your channel. I put it in the chat if anyone's here and wants to go sub to him. I will put it in the, I think, yeah, I already added to the live stream description as well. But we got my buddy Paul Hadouken hopping in saying, "What's up? Good evening, Paul. Good to see you, buddy."
Paul Hadouken.
And I didn't say hi to you earlier, but Digital Apple, hello and welcome. I've not seen you before either. So welcome, and hope you have a good time with us. So, all right. So I think, yeah, cool. Well, let's see here. So you said you've been playing. I asked you what you've been playing recently, and you listed a couple of things. I was going to mention something about one of the things that you mentioned.
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was gonna. So, in the Arkham franchise, which one is your favorite?
Well, I don't have a favorite. I like them all, but I most frequently replay Knight.
Okay, so that's one you played the most of.
Yeah. Did you know that Arkham Knight almost had a side mission for Victor Zsasz?
Zaz didn't have a side mission in Night?
No, not at all.
Oh. See, it's been
His
so long
side
since I
mission
played it.
his side mission was cut because it was a little too similar to Professor Pig's. However,
Oh, that makes sense.
some fan was able to find all the unused audio files, including that of Kevin Conroy's Batman.
Oh, yeah. Modders are crazy. They'll find like every single little bit hidden in the game's code that doesn't get completely deleted.
Yeah, and one of the audio files was intended to be used for the car ride after the unmasking.
Of Batman at the end of the game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Victor Zez would have said, "It was tragic what happened to you as a boy. To have survived when your parents were granted release."
So, okay. Well, I still think, like I said, I need to go back and play Arkham Knight again because it's been so long since I played it. But I have somewhat recently played through the other three. And I think Night City is probably still my favorite, but I do love the entire franchise. And I think each one of them does something better than all the other three. So they each have something that they do better than the others.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I preserve the Arkham Knight docuseries by Rocksteady called Arkham Insider onto my IMDb, so more people be aware of the passion that Rocksteady once had with real Batman fans.
You mean you don't think that fans of Suicide Squad are real fans?
Nuh-uh.
God, that game. I remember I was tweeting and I tweeted a reply to something to someone, but like a couple months before the game was out, and like this game is gonna bomb, and they're like, "Okay, Nostradamus." I still haven't gone back to it, but I really need to go back to it and be like, "Yeah, this tweet aged really well, just like I thought it would."
Well, in the words of the Joker hallucination,
"What? You survived everything I ever threw at you only to die now like this?"
I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to ask you about that. A lot of people had an issue with the whole Joker hallucination in Night because they're like, all right, move on to someone else besides Joker. I thought it was brilliant. I loved Joker's implementation in Arkham Knight. What did you like it, or were you not a fan of it? What do you think of Joker and Knight?
I liked it because it helped bring some finality. And interestingly enough, Joker hallucinations don't appear in the Season of Infamy DLC side missions.
I do know that I played it because I do have 100% in Arkham Knight, but like I said, it's been a long time since I played it. What was the Season of Infamy DLC?
It adds 4 extra side missions. One of Ra's al Ghul, which has a good and bad ending. One of Mad Hatter. One of Killer Croc. And one of Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, I don't remember. Like, I remember the Mad Hatter mission in City because I just recently replayed that, and I remember the Mr. Freeze DLC in Arkham Origins. I don't remember the ones in Arkham Knight because it's been so long. So yeah, I need to play that one again.
Yes, and the Season of Infamy DLC helps tie up loose ends, and you also get to go through Iron Heights Penitentiary and go through Mr. Freeze's boat called Nora and protect it from the Arkham Knights militia. And the Mad Hatter in that expansion pack, he only talks in rhyme.
Okay.
And for Ra's al Ghul's side mission, you get to encounter his daughter Nyssa, voiced by Jennifer Hale.
Oh, Jennifer Hale. She's like my favorite. I love Jennifer Hale.
I helped write her IMDb bio.
Okay, because I didn't even know it for a long time that IMDb was kind of like Wikipedia where, users can edit it. I've never edited it. I've never edited it, but I figured that you could add movies, but you can actually like help write people like bios for actors and actresses.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I'm pretty good with names, so I know a lot of actors' names, but I don't really know much about the people themselves. So I could probably go in and list movies that they've been in. I definitely wouldn't be able to write any information on a bio.
And another pro of the Season of Infamy side missions is that for Killer Croc's side mission, you get an actual boss battle with Killer Croc.
Now, I do remember fighting Killer Croc in the combat challenge in the Iceberg Lounge, where you have to even score 1,000,000 points before he even shows up. I don't remember that fight with him in the actual campaign
Well,
DLC.
it's because you didn't buy the Season of Infamy pack.
I gotta check now. Were there any achievements tied to it? Because there was achievements tied
Yes.
to it. I do have it because I have 100%. I have all the achievements in the game.
Yeah, there are achievements.
Okay, then yeah, I did play it. It's just like I said, it's been a really
And I
long
like
time,
how
so I don't
Killer Croc
remember it.
says, "I know your scent, Bat." And Nightwing says, "It's that aftershave."
I do remember. I don't remember the Nightwing's quip about the aftershave. I do remember the scent line, but I think he also says that in Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, but also, the Season of Infamy side mission villains, they have unique dialogue after Batman gets unmasked.
Okay.
For instance, Killer Croc says,
Wayne, I bet you taste rich.
Oh, that was another thing that was really cool that I liked about the whole franchise. Every time you die, there's like whatever baddie that you're hunting at the time has some sort of unique dialogue kind of towards like what happened to you. That was pretty cool.
yes, and for Ra's al Ghul's side mission, there's a good ending where Ra's is permanently put off life support and gets sent to GCPD, or the bad ending where he gets revived and kills his daughter Nissa.
So I don't, because I know what Talia. I'm not familiar with Nissa.
Nissa, she's Talia's sister,
Was she a younger sister?
I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even remember that character. But like I said, it's been a long time since I played it. But
Yeah, and the good ending, bad ending for Ra's al Ghul's side mission reminds me of Azrael's.
okay. I did like let's see here. That's right. He showed up for the first time in Arkham Arkham City, but he doesn't actually do anything other than talk to you. And then you actually have him as a somewhat major player in Arkham Knight. I do remember that.
As well as the challenge maps.
Yeah, the challenge maps. I remember using Azrael. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, I would imagine that if Rocksteady had the guts to make an Arkham episode set after Azrael's redemption, which I personally consider canon.
Yes, headcanon. I love it. So.
And I would, if I were in charge, I would add quality of life improvements like extra bat suits, extra Batmobiles.
Oh, like skins?
Yeah, extra challenge maps for free, and permanently restoring Victor Zaz's side mission.
That'd be cool. Because I played it on Xbox. I remember hearing about the Arkham Knight was completely broken on PC. That I heard that they even removed it from the online stores. But I think that it got fixed, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Do you know anything about that?
But at least Rocksteady was nice enough to give a free challenge map pack.
Okay, to the PC players.
For any player.
Oh, okay.
And another quality of life improvement I would add is all the PlayStation 4 exclusive content for other consoles. You know, like the Adam West skin, the Scarecrow Nightmare.
I did not know that there was PlayStation exclusive content for the game. Yeah, that's annoying. It's like if you're gonna do that for a game that exists on both consoles or on multiple consoles, have like a timed exclusivity thing and add it to the other consoles later. Don't just hold on to it forever. That's lame.
Yeah, I would imagine that, for Mortal Kombat 9, since the PlayStation versions let you play as Kratos, it would have been awesome in the Xbox version where he plays Marcus Phoenix.
Yeah, or if kind of like this. I don't know much about fighting games. That's one of the genres I don't typically do much of, but I know in Soul Calibur, a few of them have had console specific characters, which that's pretty cool. But like each console got their own character. It's not like one console got something, and the other consoles didn't get anything comparable.
Yeah,
So
however, the
that's a little
HD
different.
port of Soul Calibur 2 has both Heihachi from Tekken and Spawn.
In one version?
Yeah,
Oh, and which version was that?
the HD port.
Is that on multiple consoles?
PS3 and Xbox 360.
Okay. I did not know that, because Soul Calibur 2, that the one that had Link for the GameCube version?
Yeah,
Okay. So that was, let's see here. Because that would have been original.
2003.
Yeah, so that would be the original Xbox. That's when
I was
Heihachi and Spawn. And then Soul Calibur 3, did they have, because I know one of them, but I think it was the later one, had Geralt, but I don't know if that was console specific.
No, he wasn't.
Okay. Was there any other Soul Caliburs that had a console? Oh, yeah, because I remember one of them had Yoda and another one had Darth Vader.
That was 4.
That was 4. And
But DLC will let you buy the other character.
okay, so it didn't stay console exclusive.
Correct.
Gotcha.
And the
Okay.
third Star Wars guest in that game is Starkiller.
Oh, that's right. I do remember hearing about that. Never
He's
played
my
any of
favorite
them.
Star Wars video game character.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, those games were fun. Didn't make my top 5, but I did enjoy playing them at the time.
If there was a real Star Wars Battlefront 3, I would have Starkiller as my main playable hero.
Was Starkiller ever in any of the Battlefront games?
Nope.
I didn't think so. Bummer. So, okay. Well, I was gonna go. I would say what I've been playing lately, which I'll also talk about on Party Chat tomorrow. But I have barely. Well, I haven't been playing much Xbox. I mean, I've been away from home for basically half of May, and then when I have been home, I've been like really tired, so I haven't been playing a whole lot. Just the last couple days, I have been playing a little bit of Tony Hawk 1+2, and I've been going through.
I own that.
It's great. It's a great remake of the first two.
Is.
I love playing. It was funny because when those games originally came out, I played Tony Hawk 1 on N64. I played Tony Hawk 2 on Game Boy Advance, and then I played Tony Hawk 3 on GameCube. So I played them all on different consoles. But
there was even a reference to that franchise in Neversoft's Spider-Man, where Spidey sees a billboard of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, and he says, "Tony Hawk, hey, I skated with that guy."
Spider-Man, what was he ever in one of the Tony Hawk games?
The second.
The second one? Okay. I don't remember.
It was released the exact same year as Neversoft's PS1 Spider-Man game.
Okay. Yeah, and they're both Neversoft, so that definitely would make sense. I remember Wolverine and Darth Maul being in Tony Hawk 3. Since I played Tony Hawk 2 on Game Boy Advance, I don't know if any of the secret characters were in the Game Boy Advance version.
I don't think so. But in 4, you do play as Jango Fett.
I never played 4, but I never even knew that Jango Fett was in there. But that's cool. I definitely would have liked playing with him as well if I had played 4.
Yeah, and as for Underground 1, you play as Iron Man and Gene Simmons from the band Kiss.
From Kiss. That's hilarious.
And
yeah,
Underground
I never played
2,
Underground.
I'm not making this up. You play as Shrek. Because it came out the exact same year as the Shrek 2 video game.
Okay. Yeah, I never played either of the Underground games, but I know that they're pretty well regarded. And I've never even seen all the Shrek movies, but
believe it or not, Shrek almost had a different voice actor.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Chris Farley.
That's right. Yes, I do remember hearing about that. But did he turn it down, or was it because he passed away?
Well, he passed away after 90% of recording.
So he was doing it and then passed away, and they had to redo the whole voice acting with Mike Myers. Okay.
And one archive sample I'm recreating is, "No, I'm an ogre. Doesn't that bother you at all?"
I know those are well-regarded movies, but I saw the first one, I think, in theater, but I don't think I've seen any of the other ones.
Well,
although I did see...
it was the first film I've seen in theaters in my lifetime.
I don't remember what the first movie I saw in theaters was.
Well, I have a photographic memory.
Nice. That's I'm sure that comes in handy. I could tell you whether I saw a movie in theater, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what the first movie I saw in theater was.
Yeah, and I like explaining things in vivid details.
I would have guessed.
Like, I recently did some playing of Dragon Ball Fighters, but with the dramatic finishes, they're my favorites because it shows the developers really respected the manga and anime.
Okay. Is that basically like that game's version of Mortal Kombat's fatalities?
Well, dramatic finishes are recreations of the events of a certain battle from Dragon Ball. Like,
Oh,
you can
okay.
do a dramatic finish if you're playing as Goku against Kid Buu in the Land of the Kais, where he summons this giant spirit ball, and he's like, "I hope you'll come back someday. See you later," and it obliterates Kid Buu like in the manga and anime.
Okay, so it's basically reenacting scenes from the show.
Yeah,
Okay, that's cool.
and another one is where you have Teen Gohan defeating Cell by the destroyed Cell games, with his father Goku helping him with their Kamehameha.
Okay. I don't know much about Dragon Ball Z. The only Dragon Ball Z I've ever actually seen is Dragon Ball Z abridged, or was it unabridged? The one
Kai,
where it was the YouTube series, or I think it was on YouTube where they voiced over
the
it and made up their
comedic
own
abridged
dialogue.
version.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That's about all I know about DBZ. DBZ abridged. That's what it was. And I found that because I watched. I think it was the same guy did Yu-Gi-Oh abridged. And I was a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh, and that's how I found DBZ abridged.
Yeah, and what other stuff do you have in your collection?
So this is only a small part of it, but I've got a lot of other stuff packed away. But I've got the Darth Bane books here, the Mass Effect books right here, because Mass Effect is my favorite video game series of all time. I got
Yeah, I own the original Mass Effect games on my Xbox Series X.
nice. Yeah, I've got I wanted to get the special edition with the collector's tin and everything for all three of them. I only ever ended up getting the Mass Effect 1 collector's edition. I was never able to get the Mass Effect 2 or 3. I'm still kind
Who's
of
your
bummed
favorite
about that.
squad mate?
It changes all the time. I could tell you my favorite love interest, my favorite squad mate. I mean, it's hard not to say Garrus because he's just the best bro in the galaxy. But
Normandy.
my thinking about, because my favorite class is the Vanguard.
Mine is Soldier.
Okay, Soldier is hard to beat. I love the biotic powers and stuff, so I love playing biotic based characters.
Yeah, and I prefer playing as male Paragon Shepherd.
That's my typical go-to. That was my first playthrough on each one, was a male. So my first playthrough on each Mass Effect was male not Renegade, Paragon, Adept Shepherd. But then in Mass Effect 3, Vanguard overtook Adept as my favorite class.
Yeah, and I would say that one of my favorite squad mates in Mass Effect is Miranda. Even though she's pro-human, she's still easy on the eyes.
Yes, she's when I say my favorite love interest, definitely Miranda, because she's one of the hottest babes in the galaxy.
Yeah.
I discovered this person on Reddit and I saved their Reddit. I don't remember what their name is. I think they're based somewhere in like South America or something. But
and I even have Instagram, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want, I don't do Instagram, but I can definitely add your Instagram link to the description if you want. If you want to send that to me in the private chat or something.
Okay.
But I discovered this guy who does like these really amazing Mass Effect character models on Reddit, and he makes them all different sizes from a couple inches, literally to like 4 or 5 feet tall. They're huge, and I really want to get one someday, but they're freaking expensive.
Yeah, fun fact. Legion, he was originally going to be playable all the way at the very beginning of Mass Effect 2.
Play like as a squad mate or like
Yeah,
actual?
as a squad mate.
Okay. And they push him back to being in Mass Effect 3?
No, later on in Mass Effect 2.
Right. Because he wasn't in 2 though, right?
Oh, yes, he was.
He was? Huh. It's been a while since I played through the trilogy. I have the Legendary Edition. I haven't played it yet. I'm very much looking forward to playing through it again at some point.
Well, I'm personally
But Legion was introduced in 2?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, I was thinking he was introduced in 3.
Edition because of, the censorship.
Yeah, I get it. And the other thing is because I love the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, I haven't played it in a couple of months, but I still regularly play it once or twice a month. I freaking love the multiplayer. I'm still pissed that they didn't bring it back in the Legendary Edition.
Yeah, and my personal favorite DLC of 3 is Leviathan.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Citadel.
Well, I'm not afraid of having a different opinion. Whereas Citadel is pretty funny, it's actually jarring.
Okay.
Whereas Leviathan helps explore more about what the Reapers are and how the Leviathans influence them, thus making the like Tim Burton Planet of the Apes-ish ending more concrete and not as ambiguous.
Okay. Yeah, I did like the Leviathan DLC. But yeah, I think Citadel might be my favorite DLC in the trilogy. I know in 2, a lot of people really liked Omega.
Omega was actually in 3.
Was Omega in 3? Man, I'm getting my games mixed up.
2,
yeah. It's because most of Mass Effect 2 takes place on Omega, but Omega wasn't in 3, but they had the DLC for 3. That was Omega. I'm getting my stuff mixed up because it's been so long since I played the Mass Effect trilogy too.
Yeah, but the sad thing is that for the Omega DLC for 3, you can't go to Omega back ever.
Yeah, that's right.
And as for 2 DLC, there's Lair of the Shadow Broker.
That's the one I was thinking of.
The Shadow Broker, he reminded me of Darth Maul if he was on steroids.
Okay. I have not thought that, but I could see it.
Yeah, and he was also voiced by Steve Bloom.
I did not know that.
He was my voice acting teacher.
The Shadow Broker was voiced by Steve Bloom.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that. But yeah, no, he also voiced Grunt. That was basically the character that introduced me to Steve Bloom.
Yeah.
So you've spoken to him?
Well, I've done some voice acting on other YouTube channels and video games and cartoons.
Okay. Well, cool. But yeah, after that, I learned his voice, and I've heard his voice like in so many other games since.
Did you get any Rippaverse comics lately?
I have ISOM 1 here, but I have not gotten any of the other ones.
Well, I not only have ISOM 1, but ISOM 2, Alpha Core number 1, and Yaira number 1.
Because that one just came out, right?
Yeah, and I can't wait to read it someday.
So, when you say someday,
like later in the week.
Okay, because when I say someday, I mean like somewhere down the line. So, okay, just wanted to.
I can't wait to save up for Gooding.
For what's that?
Gooding is the next Rippaverse comic, which will help set up the order by June.
Okay, I've never heard of that one.
The start of summer.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, and I've also been enjoying the Lara Croft remaster trilogy, and I'm so glad that the developers got rid of the censorship.
Okay, I never played any like the old school Tomb Raider games. I did play a couple of the ones on 360. I think I played Legend and Underworld. I'd have to go back and double check.
Well, I've
I
played some of Legend, Underworld, and Anniversary.
I
before
didn't
getting
play
the
Underworld. I played Anniversary. That was the one that I played.
Yeah, and I own the Blu-rays of the Angelina Jolie movies.
Those were fun movies.
She was well cast.
Yeah, agree. I have the new Tomb Raider trilogy. I haven't played it yet. And then I am gonna play the remastered trilogy of the original 3 eventually. Like I said, I'm frugal, so I wait for games to go on deep discount before I pick them up. So when that goes on a good discount, I'll be getting that one at some
Well,
point.
I'm a frequent Microsoft rewards guy.
Oh, me too. I wait for games to go on sale and then I buy it with my rewards points. So I barely spend anything out of pocket for my games. But now that I've got so the PC I'm on now, I built it in September because the PC I was on before is behind me. This one right here. And that one is about 13 years old, and I was never built it with the intention of gaming. So I haven't had a
I
gaming
see a
PC.
Rubik's Cube. I see a Gundam.
Um. So, but yeah, before I'll get to that in a second. So I've got a PC that's powerful now and can run games. So I've been building my Steam library. Unfortunately, I can't use my Microsoft rewards points for that. So Steam games I got to buy out of pocket. But yeah, so probably around 2016, the job I was at was like a call center, and so we all had little cubicles, and if we weren't on calls, we were able to chat with each other. And one of the guys there was like big into Rubik's cubes. He got a bunch of us into it. So I have probably like 13 or 14 Rubik's cubes in total. I have probably 3 or 4 3x3s, which I don't think any of them are back there, but I've got one right here. But I've got 2x2 all the way up to a 6x6, which is my 6x6? Where is my 6? Oh, my 6x6 is actually, you can't see it because it's right off screen. It's right there, I think. Yeah, there it is. That's my 6x6. And then over there, up there's the 5x5. And then this one right here is that one right there is an X cube. And then this one is a Gigaminx, which is the 5x5 version of a Megaminx, which is this one right here. And so I do know how to solve all of them. I'm not very fast at them, but I do know how to solve them.
Well, you're a smart guy.
I like to think so. So my, not that I typically record times or anything, but my average time on a standard 3x3 is about a minute, but I think my best was probably like 45 seconds. But speed cubers are crazy because they learn like so many different algorithms to get pieces exactly where they want them to go in much more efficient methods. But you got to know so many more algorithms. I just like knowing how to solve many of them because I think the world record for a 3x3 is literally like 3 or 4.5 seconds. It's something ridiculous.
Yeah. And one lesser-known media I like is have you ever heard of Go Go Mobile Boy?
I have not heard of that before.
It's a unaired animated pilot that would have been a show on Kids WB. It's about a 9-year-old boy named Motoro, and he finds 2 alien superphones that make him become this Mega Man-like superhero.
Ooh, I love Mega Man.
Yeah, and he has an 18-year-old sister named Roxy now, who's the brains of the outfit. Also, she's a redhead.
And when was this show aired?
Well, it's
or
a pilot.
Didn't air? Oh, it's a pilot.
Unaired.
When would it have aired?
Well, Kids WB.
Like back in like the late 90s?
No, 2004.
2004? Okay. I was almost out of high school at that time, so probably would have been a little too young for me. But if that had been a thing when I was younger, I probably would have liked that show if it had
and the
actually
main
aired.
antagonist is Destructoman, aka Heinrich Strack, who is an appliance company owner who found the third and last superphone, which is green, and it had a mini Fairly Odd Parents reunion with Grey DeLisle voicing Roxy now, and her mom, and Darren Norris voicing Heinrich Strack, aka Destructoman, with his Timmy Turner dad voice.
Oh, so did you just mention, was it Fairly Odd Parents, I think?
It's a mini Fairly Odd Parents reunion.
Okay. I've heard that name a lot, and I know that was a really popular show. I've never seen it, though, because that was a little after my time of watching cartoons.
Yeah, but for me, I have an eclectic taste.
Nice. But yeah, so I love having a Rubik's Cube around. But yeah, and then I don't have any Gundams, although I don't think I've seen him in chat tonight. But Spartacus he's when he came on for open mic a while back, we did talk about Gundam for a while, and he informed me a lot about Gundam. These are assuming you're talking about these. These are Power Rangers Megazords from Zeo.
I've heard of Power Rangers.
Okay, that was my jam as a kid because that was when Power Rangers like debuted when I was like in early elementary. So I loved Power Rangers. I actually have the Gen 1 Megazord. I don't know where it is. I cannot find it. But if I ever find it, it's going back there as well because this is Zeo, which was, I think, I may get it backwards. Someone was telling me about it who knows more about Power Rangers than I do because I was thinking that this was the first Zeo Megazord and this one is the second one, but I think he was telling me that's the other way around, and this was the first Zeo Megazord, and this one was the second. But Zeo had 2 generations, and that's what these are. And I think that was basically seasons 2 and 3 of Power Rangers, if I'm correct. I could be very wrong because that was basically 30 years ago.
And Alpha 5 was voiced by Richard Horvitz.
I remember Alpha. I don't know that actor's name though.
He voiced Invader Zim, Billy
Okay.
from Billy and Mandy, Raz from Psychonauts, Orthopox from Destroy All Humans, the Zoni from Ratchet and Clank.
Okay, I know most
Daggett
of
from
those.
The Angry Beavers.
Okay, so he's got a pretty good set of what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I can't remember the word I'm looking for, but he's got a lot of
A resume of doom.
good resume. Yeah, a lot of good positions under his belt. But I haven't experienced a lot of those ones that you mentioned, but I'm pretty sure I recognize almost all of them.
Well, it's just that I'm just really good at noticing voices and all that.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. A lot of times I'll be like, that voice sounds familiar, and I'll think about it, and I'll be like, I think that is, and I'll guess, and I'll go look it up. I'm like, yes, I got it right. I'm pretty good at it. Probably not as good as you, but I'm pretty good at placing voices.
Yeah, and what's your favorite game on your collection?
Well, my favorite game of all time is Mass Effect 3. So, so Mass Effect right there, that wide one, that's Mass Effect 1, the special edition with the tin. And then I got 2 and 3. But yeah, Mass Effect 3 is my single favorite game of all time.
I recently preserved documentaries about the first 2 games onto IMDb, and it had the cast and crew attached, like Keith David, Seth Green.
Love Keith David and Seth Green. Sweet, I'll have to check that out sometime.
Well, Broadway, can you guess that I'm a part of the Alliance? No, not really. What's the Alliance?
Let's see here. No, I was going to say the only, but no, I was going to say the only thing outside the Mass Effect games I've consumed, what I was going to say was one of the movies, but I was like, no, duh, I've got the Mass Effect books right here, which are great. And I think the first Mass Effect book is is my most read sci-fi book. I think I've read it 4 or 5 times. I rarely read a book more than once. But those are great.
Grunt. Shepard. Rex. Commander Shepard. Shepard. Rex. Grunt. Shepard.
That was pretty good.
Thanks, I'm so good at voices.
But yeah, so the Mass Effect books are great. I wanted to get into some of the Mass Effect graphic novels. I don't think I ever did, but I did end up with a Blu-ray. It's one of only like 2 Blu-rays I own of Mass Effect. I forget what it's even called.
Paragon Lost.
Yes, I got it as a
with my
gift.
dad.
Okay, I got it as a gift from someone one time. Yeah, Paragon Lost, and it's basically James Vega's backstory on why he's being recruited for the N7 in Mass Effect 3.
And Freddie Prinze Jr. reprised his role.
Yeah. It's great when the voice actors from like whatever the main medium is reprise their role in other mediums. So
yeah.
Do you have a favorite franchise of all time?
Well, I would say that one of my favorites is the Arkhamverse.
Okay. Definitely a great series of games. That's a good pick.
And another is Jak and Daxter.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I've never had a PlayStation, so I never played any Jak and Daxter games, but I'm sure I would have liked them.
Well, I just want to let you know that pretty much all of the Jak and Daxter games are playable on PS4 and PS5 via emulation, and they come with trophies.
Okay.
There was even a Jak and Daxter racing game called Combat Racing.
Kart racer?
Yeah, but vehicle combat.
Oh, it's a vehicle combat game, not an arcade racer.
Correct.
Okay.
You not only races your favorite Jak and Daxter characters, but if you get save data from a Ratchet and Clank game, you get to drive as Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank.
Okay. That's another one that I would have loved to have played if I had ever had a PlayStation.
Yes, and the reason why there are Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter references is that Naughty Dog and Insomniac were good friends at the time.
Okay, I was gonna guess that they were both developed by the same team, but no, one was Insomniac and one was Naughty Dog.
For instance, in Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, upon getting a piece of the hypnotizer, Clank does a dance that Daxter does in the first Jak and Daxter game, and you hear the boom, boom, and Ratchet looks at Clank and says, "Sorry."
Yeah, that's always it's always cool when you get like Easter eggs from other games. It's like, I get that reference.
Yeah, and due to that, for Jak and Daxter, since it's the same studio that made Uncharted and Crash Bandicoot, is that they even showcase a precursor orb as a hidden artifact in Uncharted.
Is that something from one of those other games?
Naughty Dog worked on both Jak and Daxter Uncharted as well as Crash Bandicoot, so it's not surprising a precursor orb would show on Uncharted.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't know what a precursor orb is, so.
It looks like an Easter egg, but it's bronze.
And I'm assuming that's from Jak and Daxter, or okay. That's the part I was missing.
Jak and Daxter also had it had DC voice actors, Kevin Conroy, Susan Eisenberg, Phil Lamar.
I know that one.
Clancy Brown.
I know that one.
Sherman Howard.
I don't know that one.
Sherman Howard voiced Derek Powers from Batman Beyond.
I remember watching a little bit of Batman Beyond. I thought it was cool, but I never really watched much of it, and I definitely wouldn't be able to place any voices in it.
But Derek Powers, aka Blight, he's the main villain, and you see his flashing green skull in the intro.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and the Kevin Conroy voiced a fisherman in the first Jak and Daxter game and doesn't sound anything like Batman.
Yeah, it's always crazy when they do like maybe a small role and they don't do it like the role that they're most well known for, so you don't even know it's them. Then you find out like way later, it's like, oh my god, I never realized that was that person.
Yeah.
So finding out sometimes like connections like that is always funny.
The first Jak and Daxter game is more like a kid-friendly Crash Bandicoot clone, but whereas the sequels are more T-rated and inspired by GTA and Mad Max.
Okay.
And Daxter, he's the Otso. Hey, come on, Jak. How about you go get a power cell or some sort?
Was that Daxter?
Yeah. And in the first game, Jak, he didn't speak, but in the sequels, he speaks fluent English.
Okay. Jak, he's like blonde and got like the pointy ears, right?
Yeah, elf-like ears.
Yeah, okay. And then Daxter, he's some sort of like
Otso,
animal.
But he was originally an elf before he fell into the vat of dark eco.
Okay, that's some Jak and Daxter lore.
Yeah, and there are different kinds of eco. green ecos for health, blue ecos for speed, yellow eco is for blasting, and red ecos for power.
Okay.
And in the first game, Jack gets to meet the different eco sages, and the most important sage is Samos, who's the green eco sage, and he looks like Yoda.
All right.
And
Yoda.
also, he has a daughter named Kiera, who was voiced by Tara Strong.
Okay. Yep, I know that one.
Yeah, and for Jack 3, you get to race in dune buggies, and that in turn inspired the developers to make Jack X Combat Racing.
Okay.
In fact, within the third game, as well as the racing spin-off, there are developer commentary segments.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
Do you
learned
like-
a lot from those.
So you played through the games with those developer
And
commentaries?
I even preserved the developer commentaries on videos.
Okay. Do you also watch movies with director commentaries?
Obviously.
I've done
And for the Homestar Runner DVDs, there are even commentaries too.
I bet those are probably hilarious.
Yeah, but sometimes they have Matt Chapman do in character as Homestar or Strong Bad.
I've done a couple of movies with developer commentaries, but not very many.
Well, I like preserving facts.
Yeah, definitely. That's good thing to do, especially when with everything going all digital. It's like basically anybody can change anything at any time. So preserving physical media is definitely a good thing to do.
Yeah, it sure is.
So, so it sounds like do you have you're talking about Xbox and PlayStation. Do you play Nintendo
I have a
games as
Switch.
well? And a Switch? Okay, so you got everything. So do you have a preference? Are you part of the console wars? Like, I think this is the best one. I think this is the best one. Or
Well, the reason why I'm an Xbox guy is because of backwards compatibility.
good answer. Yep. Yeah, they definitely rule at least the console market for backwards compatibility, because you can still play original not all of them obviously, but you can still play a lot of even original Xbox's games on the Series X.
Like Oddworld Munch's Odyssey.
It was because I played the original Abe's Odyssey on my PC at a friend's house one time. I think, I bought it on Xbox. I haven't played it yet. The Munch's Odyssey, was that the second one?
Third.
That was the third one.
Abe's Exodus.
That's the second one.
And the fourth one is Stranger's Wrath, which is
That's a
more
third-person shooter, right?
Western.
Yeah, that one's a shooter, not really a platformer.
I'd say it's my favorite Oddworld game.
Stranger's Wrath?
Yeah, it even got ported to pretty much every system.
Okay, because I like I said, I played the original Abe's Odyssey way back in the day on a friend's PC. I never played it in its entirety. I have it. At least I'm pretty sure I have the the modern remake or port or whatever it is.
So, new and tasty.
Yes, new and tasty. I have that one on Xbox. I've not played it yet. I was thinking about picking up the rest of the games in the franchise, and Stranger's Wrath was on sale not that long ago for a pretty low price, and I didn't buy it. But if it's that good, I may pick it up next time it's on a good sale.
I really like Stranger's Wrath, and fun fact about Stranger's Wrath is that you can enter a black market.
Is that where you get some of your gear?
Upgrades.
Okay.
For instance, after bagging up Explosives McGee, you see a female clacker. Clackers are chicken people with a Western accent, and Stranger has to talk to her if there's a black marketeer, and she gives him the password, which is molasses. Then he climbs up the rope and goes to the black market and says the password, then comes in to get upgrades.
Okay.
And for Stranger, he has to collect 20 grand to save up for special surgery by bagging up as many outlaws as he can.
and you have because your main weapon is like a crossbow, right? And you get
which
different
shoots
types
out
of
animals.
yeah, and the different animals have different types of effects, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe I will reconsider and pick it up next time it's on a good sale.
Yes, and the HD port, which is pretty much Stranger's Wrath ever since 2011, it now comes with 3 difficulty options: easy, normal, and hard.
Did the original game not have difficulty options?
No.
Ah, okay.
And it even came with achievements.
Yeah. That's one of my big things, being an achievement hunter and a completionist. So, the other ones does so Abe's Exodus was the second one. Did
And it got remade to Soulstorm.
okay, I was gonna ask you because I have Soulstorm, but I don't. Where did that fit? So that's the remake of Abe's Exodus.
The YouTuber Caddy Karras voiced in it
Oh, cool.
because he previously reviewed all the Oddworld games.
Oh, that's cool. Get a fan into the remake of a game. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have Soulstorm, so that answers my question. That's the remake of the second game. Then the third one was Munch's
Odyssey.
Odyssey. Does that one have a modern version?
Well, it did, but only for PS3 and Vita.
Interesting that all the other ones are on Xbox except for that
Yeah,
one.
and Munch's Odyssey would have been followed up by Squeak's Odyssey, where Abe and Munch meet a guy named Squeak.
And that game never actually happened, right?
No.
I was like, 'cause I haven't heard of that one.
And there would have been a follow-up for Munch's Odyssey as well, called Munch's Exodus. Like
And that,
Abe's Exodus.
okay. And that one never happened either.
No.
Okay. Well, bummer. So,
And Munch's Odyssey was originally meant for the PlayStation 2.
oh, that's when that one didn't come out, right?
Well, it started in development as a PS2 title, but due to shakeups, it got rushed as an Xbox version.
Gotcha. Okay. Because yeah, I'm pulling it up right here. At least versions with achievements, meaning Xbox 360 or newer. Although these are all Xbox One. There's New and Tasty, Soulstorm, and Stranger's Wrath. So that other one doesn't exist on Xbox, at least not yet. So maybe I will. Let's see here. Did I? No, I do still have it on my wish list, so I'll be notified when it goes on sale.
Yeah,
So
and I
maybe I'll pick it
in
up.
the Homestar Runner game, Dangerous, the Room is So Triangulate. It isn't the only Homestar Runner game you can buy on Steam. The other one is called Halloween Hide and Seek. Hide and Seek is only for $2.
Nice. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at Stranger's Wrath. Yeah, it was on sale back in the end of January for $5, normally $20, so 75% off. So if it goes on sale again, I think I'll pick it up.
Yeah,
Thanks to
it
your
actually has
recommendation.
some pretty funny dialogue. You know, a stranger is ready to bag up an outlaw named Joe Mama. He says,
I gotta bag Joe Mama.
So,
and where he learns the password for Pack Rat Palooka's place, it's just a string of beeps. And as he told it to the guy in charge, he says,
Oh, I love making people say that.
interesting password. Whenever I think of a password in video games, first thing that comes to mind is Ruby Bleals. Does that ring any bells for you?
No.
Okay. That was the password that you had to discover in it was the first level after getting your lightsaber in Jedi Outcast. And you have to go talk to this bartender and you have to basically threaten him and you get the password. And then you have to use that later on in the level to get through a trap, essentially.
And I like playing the first Force Unleashed game wearing the Darth Maul skin because Sam Witwer not only voiced Starkiller but also Darth Maul in that Brisk commercial.
Well, and of course Darth Maul in the Clone Wars shows, but
Baloney, but Whitner, he said that he absolutely enjoyed voicing Maul in that Brisk commercial.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
It was made as a tie-in for the 3D re-release of The Phantom Menace back in 2012.
Okay.
George Lucas was intending to release all 6 movies on 3D.
Hmm. But I'm sure that got cut short since 3D didn't really last.
Yeah, but at least I let you know.
Yeah. So, let's see here. Yeah, it's funny that being a big Xbox guy, I'm on True Achievements. Are you on True Achievements, or do you care much about achievements?
Not really. I just play for the heck of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get. I've got a lot of friends that are like, "Dude, you're weird because you achievement hunters are weird." I'm like, I know, but I'm on True Achievements, and that's there's a lot of great stuff on here that even isn't tied to achievements. Like,
Yeah,
you
I
can put
even do
games
some
on
drawing.
your wish list, and it'll notify you when it's on sale.
I even do some drawing.
Okay, so you're a bit
Like,
of an artist as well.
Yeah, I even did a crossover of Van Helsing from the 2004 movie, and this
I love
character,
that
the build
movie.
is from Hunting Ground, but I made him to look like Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, it's mirrored. I can't read it, but yeah.
What Van Helsing said is, "Nice outfit of Frankenstein's monster." That's my British Hugh Jackman impression.
I think I saw. I think I was on your Twitter the other day, and I saw something about like what movie can you endlessly rewatch, and I think your response was Van Helsing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but I do really like that movie.
Yeah, and there's a hilarious outtake in the Blu-ray where Richard Roxburgh, who played Dracula, he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Van Halen."
Panama. That's my favorite Van
That song
Halen
was in
song.
Superbad.
I don't know. I know I've seen bits and pieces of Superbad. I don't think I ever
McLovin.
saw the entirety of it, but I do remember McLovin for sure. But yeah, Panama is my favorite Van Halen song. But that's funny. I give you Van Halen. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I just blanked on her name. In Van Halen. You got me saying it now. In Van Helsing.
Kate Beckinsale?
Kate Beckinsale. Yes, thank you. God, she was so hot in that movie.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like her from the
Underworld.
Yes, Underworld movies. I saw most of them. I don't think I ever saw the last one. She looked good in that one, but in those movies, but I don't think she's ever looked as hot as she did in Van Helsing.
Yeah, she was also in the Adam Sandler movie Click.
Oh, that's right. That was a good movie. I think that one didn't get a lot of attention, but I thought it was a pretty good movie.
Well, I'm from the New England area, so I understand, Adam Sandler's humor.
Yeah, that one had a great moral to the story in that movie.
It even had a Best Makeup nomination.
I would not have guessed that for a movie like that.
And speaking of which, that and Billy Madison have a shared universe, because in Billy Madison, you see the O'Doyle family, but in Click, you see Kevin O'Doyle.
I would not have put that together because I think I only saw Billy Madison once a very long time ago, so I don't remember much of that movie.
It's just that I have a photographic memory.
Yep.
And
Making
another
that connection
example
does
of
not
Adam
surprise
Sandler
me.
movies having a shared universe is Farmer Fran from The Waterboy. He makes a cameo in Joe Dirt.
I've never seen Joe Dirt. I've heard that movie's funny, though.
Well, he said, "Well, home is where you make," and explains home is where you make it, and says to Joe Dirt, "You out of date, boy."
Oh, that was the guy that you couldn't understand what he was saying in Waterboy.
Farmer Fran, yeah.
That's right. I forgot about him.
Well, it shows them really good with details.
Yep. Yep, definitely. You catch those small details. I'm usually pretty good about stuff like that as well, but doesn't sound like I'm anywhere near as good at it as you are.
Yeah, I even had a few voice actors, contribute to my YouTube channel.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like for my most viewed videos, that this iconic voice actress Great Allow. I was able to re-upload her video, Your Childhood in 60 Seconds, and her original video didn't have pictures of the characters she voiced, so I was able to put pictures of the characters she voiced on my version, and she deleted her old one.
And she liked your version better than her own?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, do you have a favorite voice actor?
I would say Billy West.
Billy West. I don't even know that name.
Ren and Stimpy.
Okay.
Fry from Futurama. The Honey Nut
Okay.
Cheerios Bee. Doug Funny. The Red M&M. Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd, the original Space Jam.
Yeah, he's got quite the resume as well.
Yeah, he's currently in his 70s.
Well, if he was Bugs Bunny, that definitely makes sense. Bugs Bunny's been around a long time.
Yeah, he also voiced Zap Brannigan, Dr. Zoidberg, Professor Farnsworth, Richard Nixon's head.
Those are all Futurama characters, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen Futurama, but I was like, I know Zoidberg is, and I know Fry is, and Farnsworth. I didn't know who that was for a long time.
Well, he's basically Fry's great nephew.
Okay, because there's someone who I know on YouTube who Professor Farnsworth is his online username, and I was talking to him in Discord one time, and he connected the dots like, oh yeah, that I have that name because I like Futurama and the character.
And Billy
Futurama.
West, he did a reenactment of Back to the Future with Doc and Marty in his voices of Fry and Professor Farnsworth. For instance, do you know who was the president of 1985? No, Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, the actor. Who's going to be first lady? Jerry Lewis.
I have seen Back to the Future, but yeah, I've never seen Futurama, so I don't know those characters' voices.
Well, it's just that I just have an excellent memory. I inherited it from my grandfather.
Okay. There was, yeah, sometimes doing like famous scenes from movies or TV shows, but in like voices of other characters. I've seen some of those, and those are pretty good.
Like the Talkin' Toon show.
Is that basically the premise of that show? I haven't heard of this show before.
Some part of it, famed voice actor Rob Paulson is the host. You know him as Yakko, Pinky,
okay.
Carl Weezer.
Wait, Yakko also voiced Pinky?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron, and Raphael from the 87 show.
From the 87, like Ninja Turtle show? Okay, I thought you were saying the show is called the 87 show. I haven't heard of that one. Ninja Turtles from 87. Okay.
Yeah, and Rob Paulson also voiced the 2012 version of Donatello.
2012. Okay. You're not talking about the Michael Bay Turtles, right? You're talking about a TV show.
That's 2014.
2014. Okay. So yeah, different version. Well, cool. All right. If I had to pick a favorite voice actor, it would probably have to be between Keith David and Jennifer Hale.
Jennifer Hale, she voiced Sedusa and Princess Morbucks from the Powerpuff Girls.
I've never seen Powerpuff Girls, but her voice is everywhere, so that does not surprise me.
Yeah, and Sedusa is like, try picking on these locks.
I do remember when her voice showed up in Avatar Last Airbender as like
Kyoshi.
Is that what her character's name was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when she showed up like, that sounds like Jennifer Hale. I looked it up and I was like, yes! Nailed it.
She also voiced the Spring Spirit in Samurai Jack.
I've never seen Samurai Jack. Most recently, though, I was also to place her voice. I was like, yeah, I got it right again. She was the voice of the antagonist in Metal Hellsinger, which was a pretty cool game. It was basically Doom, but a rhythm game.
Yeah, and I own all the Doom games except Doom Eternal on Xbox Series X.
curious on why not Doom Eternal. Were you not a fan of it?
Well, I'll plan on saving up on it if there's a deal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the first Doom game I ever played was Doom 2016, and I thought Doom Eternal was a great evolution from there. So I never even played the classic Dooms until after Doom 2016. So I know people have a lot of nostalgia for the classics Dooms. So Doom purists a lot, not a lot, but I know Doom purists have some issues with Doom Eternal. But I love Doom Eternal. It was my favorite Doom game and one of my favorite shooters in the last decade.
Yeah. And believe it or not, over there I have a autographed poster of Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom.
Not exactly related to Doom, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but my grandfather, he got it at a charity auction.
Nice. Just say, what's up, CLS Studios? Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for hopping in and dropping a like, even though you can't stay around. But you have a great night.
And I have like all sorts of different Blu-rays and DVDs. I have the whole Rocky franchise, the '87 Ninja Turtles series, and I have I have I have like Seinfeld, Angel, Buffy.
Some very popular shows.
Yeah, and I have all 6 Star Wars movies on Blu-ray.
All right. Yeah, I never watched Buffy or Angel, and I saw a few episodes of Seinfeld, not a lot, but the TV show from maybe it's I would say it's about that era that I really like, and I'm rewatching it rewatching it for the first time. I watched it once back in the day, and I'm rewatching it for the first time currently, and that's Stargate SG-1.
Yeah, I've heard of that, and I also own the DVDs of Blu-rays of Cheers, the 2 Sonic movies, which I really enjoyed.
The recent, the new ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought those were pretty good. Are you looking forward to the third one?
Voicing Shadow for the third one is great casting.
Okay. I haven't played many of the Sonic games, so I don't know what Shadow sounds like, so I'll have to take your word for it.
Well, the thing is that he sounds like this. Chaos Control!
Okay. I could definitely see Keanu Reeves doing that. Although I don't know that he's really done, other than his character for Cyberpunk, has he really done much voice acting?
Well, he voiced Duke Kaboom in Toy Story 4.
That's right. He did do Duke Kaboom. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and for the third Sonic movie, I hope Jim Carrey's Robotnik says, "Snooping as usual, I see."
Is that one of his
The
big lines
reason
from
why the
back in
quote
the
is
day?
so popular is that in the animated series Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog,
Oh, the TV show.
yeah, Long John Baldry's Robotnik says that particular quote to Scratch and Grounder, and the reason why the quote is so well known among the internet is that Baldry, he accidentally put too much emphasis on ping and as.
All right.
So because of that, many people are making petitions to Jim Carrey to see if he could say "snooping as usual, I see."
A nice little nod to the fans and the meme, apparently.
Yeah.
All right.
And not to mention that the filmmakers confirmed that the theme song from Sonic Adventure 2, Live and Learn, will be heard in the third Sonic movie.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes like, "Live and learn, hanging on the edge of tomorrow. Live and learn from the words of yesterday."
Yeah, I know Sonic's got some great music, and at least in the older games, like I said, I haven't played a whole lot of them, but I know that they're pretty well regarded for having some great music.
Now you're happy that they're going to use it for the third movie.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah, I saw the first 2 one time each, so so I have seen them. I don't remember a lot about them, so when I ever do get around to watching the third one, I'll definitely have to rewatch the first
Well, the
two
second
before it.
has a post-credit scene with Shadow's debut.
Okay. I probably saw that because I pretty much usually always wait through the credits, or if I'm watching at home, fast forward to the end of the credits to see if there's anything there.
Yeah, and speaking of Shadow the Hedgehog, in 2005 there was an infamous Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off game.
Okay. I wouldn't be able to tell you what it's called, but I'm pretty sure I knew that it existed.
It's called Shadow the Hedgehog.
Okay, then yeah, I definitely have heard of that one.
Yeah,
I've-
and his biological father, Black Doom, was voiced by Sean Schemmel.
Okay. Yeah, I
But
don't know who
instead
that
of
is.
using his typical Goku voice,
He uses his Dr. Claw-like voice.
I was gonna say that sounds exactly like Dr. Claw.
yeah, I was just saying he doesn't use his typical Goku voice for Black Doom.
So this guy, because I don't know this voice actor you mentioned, is that the voice actor for Goku?
Sean Schemmel, yeah.
Okay.
He also voiced Gonard from Kappa Mikey.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Mikey, to make something less popular, all you have to do is steal their belts. That'll teach him to look at my donut.
Okay. I have no idea what that is, but
Well, Kappa Mikey is an anime-styled Nicktoon. It's lesser known. It's about Mikey Simon as he goes to Japan to be a part of a show called Lily Moo.
okay.
And it had like anime dancing sushi and this purple Pokemon guy like Guano, who's actually the director of the project. He's like, God, did you forget to rehearse your lines, Mikey?
So if you, you're probably gonna be my guess is that the answer to this question will be the same as your favorite one. But if you could meet a voice actor, who would it be? Would it be
Billy West.
Billy West? Okay, that was gonna say that would be my guess. Your favorite, would probably be the one you'd want to meet.
And speaking of Billy West, he was originally going to voice Invader Zim.
And he didn't.
Because it's because he was known at the time for voicing Fry from Futurama, you know, before the cancellation. So they hired Richard Horvitz. But the initial Invader Zim voice actor during an audition was Mark Hamill.
Okay, I think I had heard that somewhere sometime.
But it didn't work out necessarily.
But yeah, I did not know that he was such a prolific voice actor, because I thought, he was Luke Skywalker and then disappeared off the face of the earth. This is before before Disney. I remember it was probably in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s. I'm like, whatever happened to Mark Hamill? And I looked him up, and I was like, he didn't look anything like he did when he was in Star Wars. I was like, it's the same guy. But then I saw his list of what he had done. I'm like, oh my God, he's done so much voice acting that I had no idea.
He also voiced Wolverine in a Wolverine game.
Not Wolverine the X-Men Origins Wolverine game.
No, it's called X2 Wolverine's Revenge.
Okay.
Despite the fact that Hugh Jackman's likeness is on the cover, it's a bait and switch.
Okay. Because yeah, I talked about X-Men Origins Wolverine on one of the more recent episodes of Party Chat, even though the most recent one was 6 weeks ago because I've been gone so much. But we were talking about where, because video games usually have a penchant for just being terrible, but the X-Men Origins Wolverine game is awesome, and it's way better than the movie it's based on, and that's a fun game. From Raven, who's a great studio that unfortunately is relegated to making Call of Duty stuff now.
Yeah, they helped make the X-Men Legends games as well as the first Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and I bought Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 for Xbox One on the store before they got delisted.
Ah, nice. Yeah, I never played any Ultimate Alliance games, but they seem like they'd be pretty fun because those ones you can play in a group, right?
Good, and I even showcased gameplay videos of the second one. It has your favorite Marvel characters in, and sometimes if you form a team of 4 characters who are close to each other, you get extra bonuses. Like if you're playing as the Fantastic Four, you get bonus fusion, or if you're playing as the Avengers, you get a bonus, or if you're playing as the X-Men, you get a bonus,
Okay.
or playing as all female characters, you get a bonus.
Okay. Yeah,
You also playable characters include Daredevil, Colossus, Deadpool, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Green Goblin, Venom, Carnage, Hulk, The Thing, Juggernaut, Magneto, Doctor Doom, Sabretooth, all those.
Yeah, the game's got a crazy big roster. You can play with so many different characters from what I've watched of the game. My buddy, who's also an achievement hunter and a completionist, we do a show once a month about what games we've been achievement hunting. His name is Dude1286. He was achievement hunting one of the Marvel, I think it was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2, not that long ago. And so he was telling me about some of the troubles that he had getting the 100% completion in that game.
Yeah, and as for the Ultimate Alliance games and X-Men Legends 2, that if you're playing as a character that knows the NPC or boss you encounter, the player character has unique, fully voice-acted dialogue.
Okay, yeah, I would hope so, but yeah, the nice little touch when you have unique stuff, but interacting between the characters, kind of like in RPGs when you have different squad mates with you, then that are different from a previous playthrough, and they'll say something different that you haven't heard before because you have different characters in your squad. I know Mass Effect does that.
Yeah, and for PS5, they're upgrading the PS2 emulation.
How so?
Is that, like I said, they're making the first Sly Cooper game playable via emulation for PS4 and PS5, but also Tomb Raider Legend and Star Wars The Clone Wars.
And were those basically not playable before and they were getting added?
Yes.
On
June 11th.
Gotcha. Okay.
And this will eventually lead to more PS2 games being properly emulated for PS4 and PS5.
Nice. Okay. So I thought you meant like the emulation was getting upgraded, like it was going to work better, give you better frames. You just mean like more games are going to be backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's something that talking about Xbox being great with backwards compatible, it is a bummer that they stopped that and they haven't added any new games. There's no plans to, because there's still a bunch of great games out there that would be great to get. I mean, if they could do the entire library, that would be fantastic. But they don't have any plans to add any more games to backwards compatibility, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I even made a video on why I want Xbox to upgrade its backwards compatibility.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to link that for you. If you had a choice of adding like one game that's not backwards compatible yet, do you have a game that you would pick to add to backwards compatibility?
Well,
there
are hundreds. One of them is The Simpsons Hit and Run.
I know that was a popular game. Was that an arcade cabinet or just popular on home consoles?
No, it was on PS2, GameCube, Xbox, and PC.
Okay. And that was, I'm getting my Simpsons games mixed up. Talking about arcade cabinet, that's not the Simpsons beat 'em up game that was in arcade then.
No, it's GTA inspired.
Okay, that was good. I was going to say, I think Hit and Run was basically Simpsons GTA. Yeah, I've heard that was a good game. A lot of people have fond memories of it, but I've never played it because I've never really been into Simpsons.
Cola. Must get Buzz Cola.
I was going to say, donuts.
But I was quoting from the opening cutscene.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, I would know that since I haven't played Hit and Run. But okay.
Another backwards compatibility I would add, since they already added the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, I would also add Warrior Within and the Two Thrones.
Oh, those other games are not backwards compatible?
Nope.
Oh, that's a bummer. I would think that they would have done, if they're going to do Prince of Persia, they would have done all the Prince of Persia games.
Yeah, and
that's a bummer, because I've heard good things about those games.
Yeah, and other ones in my video include Blinks 2, Beyond Time and Space.
Oh, the second one, because I know the first one is.
Yeah, and Destroy All Humans 2.
Okay. I'm going to say, yeah, that's weird because Blinks and Destroy All Humans are backwards compatible, but the sequels are not. That's dumb.
Yeah, and given that Microsoft already owns Activision, they haven't, added backwards compatibility for like Ultimate Spider-Man or X-Men Legends. And I would also like to add TAC 2, The Staff of Dreams, and TAC the Great Juju Challenge.
Okay. I've heard that name before, but I don't know anything about those games. I'm assuming
Well,
they're
the
like
TAC
3D
franchise
platformers.
was meant to kickstart a Nickelodeon franchise.
Okay.
It's about a boy named Tack. He's part of the Pupununu tribe, and his best friend Locke is voiced by Patrick Warburton, aka
Okay.
Kronk.
Yeah, definitely Kronk. First thing that came to mind was for me was Joe from Family Guy.
Yeah, and another game I would add to backwards compatibility
Oh,
is the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
I've heard good stuff about that game too.
I really loved it.
Is the TAC games, are those kind of like Banjo-Kazooie like?
What?
The TAC games you were just talking about? Do they play like kind of like Banjo-Kazooie, like a 3D
but the
platformer?
third one is actually more cooperative.
Okay. But is that kind of the genre that they are?
Yeah, but the second one is more linear.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I just kind of want to figure out
Not
exactly
to mention
what kind of
Jennifer
game
Hale
it is.
voiced in all 3 of them.
Oh, cool. There she is again. She's awesome.
Yeah, she voiced Flora, who is the Moon Juju's daughter.
All right.
Another addition to my Xbox backwards compatibility would be Crash Twinsanity.
Okay.
There was a lot of cut content from that game.
My first time I even played Crash, well, I mean, I played it at a demo station back in the day, but my first time actually getting to play Crash was the Insane trilogy, since I, like I said, never had a PlayStation, so I never played the Crash games until it came over to Xbox. Same with Spyro.
And another one I would add is Mad Dash Racing.
I don't even know of that one.
It's a launch title for the Xbox.
It was a launch title and it's not backwards compatible?
Correct. And you get to even play as Gex as a bonus character.
I never played Gex, but I know of Gex.
Popularized him.
Oh, Donkey, he's a YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
I was say I've heard his name. I've never watched him, but I've heard of him.
I'm saying he popularized Gex.
Okay.
Another one I would add is Rayman Arena.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about the Rayman games. Never played them though.
Yeah, Rayman Arena is multiplayer oriented, and you do on-foot racing and combat.
Okay, so it's not just a 2D platformer or even a 3D platformer, because I think one of them was a 3D platformer.
Yeah, in the European region where it originally came out, it was named Rayman M, but when it got to North America, it was changed to Rayman Arena, so people wouldn't think it's a not safe for kids game.
That's probably a good call.
Yeah, and another backwards compatibility game I would add is Freaky Flyers.
I've not even heard of that one.
It's a cartoony plane game, and the art style is a lot like Ren and Stimpy.
Okay. Is it kind of like the plane racing in Diddy Kong Racing?
Yeah, as well as plane combat.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and another backwards compatibility game I would add is Def Jam Fight for NY.
All right, yeah, I never played the Def Jam games, but I know they're kind of infamous.
Well, I would like to play it if it's backwards compatible, because of Carmen Electra being playable.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah, she even had her own voice to it.
She voiced her character?
Yeah, and all the rappers and people voiced their own characters.
Okay, cool. I would sure hope so if you have real people in it.
Yeah, and another addition I would add is Mortal Kombat Armageddon.
Is that one? I know there's been some Mortal Kombat games that are not well regarded. Is that one that people, like most people, really love, or is that one of the ones that people like don't
Well,
really care for.
Armageddon is known for having pretty much every Mortal Kombat game up at that point,
Okay. I
except
thought so.
except that they don't have their own fatalities. You just create their own.
Okay. But
And
man,
another
you came
one,
prepared for this question.
and another one I would add is the SpongeBob movie game, considering that the movie's getting a 4K Blu-ray release this year.
Oh, okay. Let's say
Another one would be SpongeBob Lights Camera Pants.
I do know that what's the Battle for Bikini Bottom, I think, is a recent one.
It did get a remake.
Okay, the remake. I do remember hearing about that. I want to say it came to Game Pass, but it might not be. I just remember hearing about it.
And another backwards compatibility title I would add is the Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules.
Okay.
It's the only Fairly Odd Parents game made for the Xbox where Vicky, she gets Timmy's The Rules books and takes it. So Timmy, he has to use Cosmo and Wanda so that he would get the pages back.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I just looked it up. I was right. That Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated is on Game Pass. That's why I heard about it.
And
'Cause I don't
other
know anything
backwards
about SpongeBob.
And other ones I would add include Sonic Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic Riders, and Mortal Kombat Deception, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, The Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. I could go on.
Yeah, you came prepared because the if I had one to pick, it's the only one that I own that I can't play anymore because I don't have an original Xbox to play it on. It's not backwards compatible, and that's the game of my namesake. That's Matrix Path of Neo.
Yeah, and I like how there
I
was.
think it's right here at the end.
I like how at the very beginning there's an option where Neo can take the blue pill and Morpheus goes, "Perhaps I was wrong about you, Neo. I'm sorry you won't be joining us." What makes it impressive is that they even got Lawrence Fishburne to reprise Morpheus.
Okay, yeah, I played it when it was new on the original Xbox and haven't played it since. So I'd love to go back
But
and play it
sadly
again.
for
But I got
that
nothing
game,
to play it
they
on.
but for that game they didn't have the other actors reprising their roles.
Yeah.
But Jennifer Hale was a pretty good sound-alike for Trinity.
Jennifer Hale was in that too?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! If I ever get around to playing it again, I'll probably be like, "Oh my god, it's Jennifer Hale!" Because I didn't know who Jennifer Hale was at the time because I didn't learn who she was until Mass Effect.
And the ending for this game is quite different from the Matrix Revolutions.
That's the one thing about the game I do remember is because that ending, and I've mentioned it on a number of my shows before because of they're like, yeah, the movie's great, but it doesn't make for a great end of a video game. So here's a video game boss.
Yeah, and also in one level, Neo, he gets to battle giant ants.
I don't remember that.
Well, I just have great memory.
Yes, I don't remember if it was in Path of Neo or Enter the Matrix, but I do remember. I think it was in Enter the Matrix. I do remember fighting like vampires and werewolves and stuff, which felt weird for a Matrix game, but that might have been in both of them. But I'm pretty sure I do at least remember doing that in Enter the Matrix.
Yeah.
So.
And for Path of Neo is that they use archive clips from the movies in the Animatrix, with Lawrence Fishburne's voice as Morpheus narrating.
So, bummer. So they got more Lawrence Fishburne, but they didn't get anybody else. Who voiced Neo in it then?
Andrew Bowen.
I have no idea who that is.
He voiced Johnny Cage in MKX.
Okay.
He was also on Mad TV and was Keanu Reeves in Mad TV.
What? Oh, I'm pretty sure I've seen him then because I know I've seen some sketches from back in the day from those shows. Although I might be getting it mixed up with SNL versus Mad TV. But all right. Well, wow.
And also, I like how in Path of Neo, that there's an add subplot that's in between the first two movies where Neo finds the potentials that he rescues from the machines
Oh, the potentials that were there when he was
extracted from the ship's mainframe.
from when he went to go see the Oracle.
No, after.
Oh, after that. Okay.
After he becomes the One, but before the end of the war.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's a nice add-on of detail.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and I believe that Path of Neo almost got a PC port, I believe.
Oh. But it didn't though.
No.
I've not actually looked for it. I'm kind of curious now.
And I also have a poster of Isam, the hero of Aripaverse.
Nice. I do remember because I had never played WoW or anything. I was really excited to do for Matrix Online. Unfortunately, I never even got to try it, but I know it didn't last terribly long. But I thought the idea was cool.
Yeah, and I like how for the Enter the Matrix live action cutscenes, I like how you can watch them from the collector's DVD set.
Yeah, there's no Matrix games on Steam at least.
Well, it was a fun chat, and I'm glad to have you as a guest.
Yeah, I can't believe it's already almost 2 hours. It seems like we just started, but yeah, I had a great time chatting with you, man. It was fun. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
So, I like I said, I added it into the stream description, but I'll drop it in the chat here again. I think I still got it copied, right? No, I do not. But anything you want to plug before we wrap it up here?
No.
Okay. Well, I will. Oh, that's not. Let's see here. There, I do still have it here. I'm dropping it in the chat again. So if anyone wants to go check out Christian's YouTube channel, or there it is. But yeah, good stuff, man. Thanks for coming on. I had a great time chatting with you.
Bye.
And for me, yeah, I have the next episode of Party Chat. If anyone is watching, it's tomorrow, Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. And my guest is going to be Alec Baldwin's Finger. And we're going to be talking about some great video game topics. So thanks to anyone who came and hung out with us while we were chatting about all sorts of stuff. This is probably the most varied topic open mic I've ever had, because typically it's almost all about video games. We talked about all sorts of stuff tonight. So it's great to expand the topics a little bit tonight. But everyone who came out and hung out with us tonight, good to see you. Thanks for joining me for the first time. I saw a lot of new names tonight, but thanks for hanging out with us. And you guys all have a great night. We'll see y'all later. And in the meantime, game on.
Bye.